The autonomic nervous system coordinates the actions of most of the body's visceral systems, the heart, the lungs, the blood vessels, the digestive system, urinary and reproductive systems. And these systems tend to function in one of two modes: the exercise and fight or flight mode, which is run by the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system, and then the rest and repose mode, or the parasympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. There are a number of anatomical differences between these two halves of the autonomic nervous system. The preganglionic soma of the sympathetic division originate in the thoracic and lumbar sections of the spinal cord, and so therefore it is referred to as the thoracolumbar division. In contrast, the preganglionic soma of the parasympathetic division either originates in the brainstem or the sacral divisions of the spinal cord. The majority of these preganglionic soma, 80 to 90%, travel through the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve coming from the medulla contains the majority of these neurons. In the sympathetic division, the preganglionic axon is short, and synapses with the postganglionic neuron in a ganglion which lies close to the spinal cord, such as the sympathetic chain ganglia, which are next to the spinal cord. In contrast, in the parasympathetic division, the preganglionic axons are long, given that the ganglia are either next to the effector organ or within the effector organ. The preganglionic neuron can synapse with an average of 20 postganglionic neurons, which allows a complex coordinated response. In other words, if the same message is going to the heart and the lungs, then they are responding together. So the response involves multiple tissues acting on the same stimulus. In contrast, the parasympathetic division tends to be very specific, with commands given to specific organs or specific regions of the organs. There is much less divergence, given that the preganglionic neurons synapse with an average of 3 postganglionic neurons. In both the sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions, the preganglionic neurons are cholinergic. They release acetylcholine. In contrast, in the sympathetic division, most postganglionic neurons are adrenergic, releasing norepinephrine, while in the parasympathetic division, the postganglionic neurons are also cholinergic, releasing acetylcholine. Finally, as I will cover in another video, in the sympathetic division, during exercise or during an emergency, epinephrine and norepinephrine are actually released into the blood, and as such, they are not functioning as neurotransmitters at the specific synapse, but rather as hormones which can go throughout the body and affect cells all over the body, including non-innervated cells which do not directly contact a neuron. No such setup exists in the parasympathetic division.